It's gonna take a little more than 80 days to travel around the world, but we know you'll hear about it, cause we are three favorite girls exploring the globe. And wherever life takes us, wherever life takes us.
Hey guys, I'm Kelly.
I'm Liz.
And I'm Gina.
So we are starting a podcast and we are called Wherever Life Takes Us. So basically, this is based off of our Instagram account. Now our Instagram account is something I started back in, when did we go to Japan? 2019?
July.
And I started this about 2 months before we went to Japan in July. And I wanted to basically share my travels with the world with people who are interested in it. So I wanted to do something, but I'm not really that great with aesthetics or photos or anything like that. So that's when I brought Gina and Liz into the fold, and that's how we're here right now. Then we had a great idea to, start a podcast and talk about our travels and everything we're interested in, and I'm really excited to get started.
Yeah.
So this is just gonna be a first episode about introductions. So you guys are gonna get to know me, you're gonna get to know Gina and Liz, and we're gonna talk about our travels and what we want to do with this podcast and all this different stuff. So you're gonna get to know us a little bit. So basically, I'm gonna share my first travel story. So my first big, oh my god, I love traveling story was when I was a junior in high school, and my sister was studying abroad in London. Me, my dad, my cousin, my aunt and uncle all went to go visit her. It was right before my 16th birthday. I remember because I was planning my Sweet 16 around it. And we went to the London Eye. We did the London tours. We did some the London Tower, the London Tower Bridge, all that stuff. Amazing. So what I was reading in English class about Shakespeare and Richard III was going on in the Tower of London, the story of the boys that were buried and all these different things that I was reading about and had read about. I was seeing this historical significance and the historical landmarks of it, and it was the most amazing thing ever. And from there on, I had to travel. Before that, I had been to Disney every year of my life, and you guys will come to know that I'm a huge Disney fan. And I had been to Aruba and a little bit of Canada for Niagara Falls and stuff like that, but that was my first big European historical trip, and I fell in love with it the moment I was there, and I was only there for 5 days. Fast forward to the year, a little bit more than a year later, and I went to to Greece with my school, and that was a trip Gina was on. And we had been friends for a long time before it, but it was the first time we traveled together, and I'm pretty sure it was your first time on a plane, right?
First time on a plane ever.
Ever. And that was magical, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, so Gina?
Yeah, I could go into, because that was obviously my first time traveling abroad. Before that, I had really only been to a couple of states with my family, like a Pennsylvania trip, pretty much only on the East Coast. I never even went to Florida before, being friends with you and having you set up a Disney trip.
It's coming. I'm telling you guys, it's coming. Stay tuned for that podcast, because it's going to come. Okay.
But Kelly and I have been best friends for years, and she liked mythology, and our school, when we were seniors, they were setting up a Greek mythology trip to Greece.
Pretty much because I begged for it. I had been begging since 9th grade for this one teacher, please, let's go to Greece. And finally, my senior year, it happened.
Oh, and by the way, just in case you guys, I know high school is very different for everyone across the country, but in our high school, we have a program where we can, pay to go on a trip at the end of the year with our class. So just in case you guys didn't know that, that's what we talk about when we're talking about these trips that we went on in high school.
With our school.
Yeah, they were our senior trip.
It's a senior trip, and I mean...
You don't have to be in high school to do it. We went back and we did Japan, which we'll go over to in a little bit after we had graduated, but the teacher set it up and you had to be invited onto this trip, basically.
Yeah, but it's outside of the school, technically.
It's not through our school district, but it was run by the teachers in our school district, so it was a little funky of a situation.
Yeah. But, so Kelly had been talking to me about this Greek mythology trip to Greece, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna do it.
Fuck
So,
it.
yeah,
Excuse me,
right?
this is an explicit podcast. Explicit
Now
podcast.
it is.
Fuck it. I don't think so.
No. So, I went on my first plane ride ever to Europe,
I
which was
held
just
her
crazy.
hand. She was so nervous. It was so cute.
Yeah, but it was actually, I love planes now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The first one was a little, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. I was just like, okay.
I absolutely hate flights.
But really, we landed, we got out of the airport, and I saw my first mountain ever in life. And I just I was like, what is that? I had no idea what it was. I was just like,
You
in
said you went to
awe.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I went to, like, Lancaster.
The drive up, you definitely passed the mountains. But not
She
like,
was, snoozing.
not, to be fair, Athens mountains.
They were huge.
Beautiful.
They were huge.
Oh my
and I had
gosh.
no idea what they were. And I was just, like, in awe. And I fell in love with traveling then. The food was great. The music was great.
The
I
people.
loved the culture. Everything about it was great. And fast forward a year later, we booked all those trips, right?
We booked a trip to Japan like less than a year later. Like we went during
Yeah.
Christmas time of my freshman year of college to book that trip for after our sophomore year of college.
Yeah, so Japan was booked way
in advance.
like
To be
a
fair,
year in advance.
it was very expensive.
It was
trip.
expensive. Yeah.
That was expensive, yeah. And that's what we did with one of our teachers that we went to Greece with as well.
Shout out LG.
LG.
If you're watching
Love
this.
you.
She's definitely going to watch
Yeah,
this.
I know
Love
she's
you.
definitely
We're gonna definitely bring you on for one of our podcasts.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Okay, keep going.
But that is where we met Liz. We never met Liz in high school. She's a couple years younger than us.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you went on that trip.
God bless.
Because
Good
here
thing
are today.
we felt like weirdos, like going on a trip with a bunch of high schoolers. But you know what?
Yeah.
We were like, fuck it.
Yeah,
When are we gonna get a chance to go to
definitely
Japan again?
Even
and
though we were only like 19.
you're
Like,
right. But we were 2 years. By the time we went, we were 2 years out of high school, and some of the kids on the trip were going into their junior year of high school. Like it was.
Yeah.
I felt old.
We were old. We were like the moms of the group.
We were.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
went to bed at like 10 p.m.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
Okay,
I
maybe a little
was
bit.
how old? I was 17.
You had it. Yeah.
16.
I was a
17,
junior
I
in high
think.
school because I decided to graduate early. So technically I was a senior. But
Age-wise, you were a junior.
yeah. So in Japan, that's where we met, and then this is how it all began.
The magic of
Yeah,
our
the
group.
three of
We are
us.
the best travel group companions in the world,
Um,
period. You'll get to know that. We travel so well together.
True.
But
Facts.
yeah, I mean, I get anxiety thinking about traveling without them. Like that's how good we are as
Aw,
a team.
stop.
So, but anyways,
We take
I'm
care of
Liz.
each other.
Yeah.
We're a family when we travel.
We're
Yeah,
family in
we
general,
are.
but especially when we're travel, you know.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got each other.
We don't get mad. We never fight. We never bicker. If I really want to do something, you guys make the effort to make sure we do it. If you really want
Yeah.
to do something, if something doesn't work out, no one's ever mad. If we miss a plane because of traffic,
if shit goes
Down,
completely wrong,
we all
We're
laugh
just-
about it and cry about it
yeah.
together. We don't get mad at
We
each
do
other.
not.
We're good. Yeah.
So yeah, we work really great together. But my first trip ever was El Salvador. My family is from El Salvador. My parents were born there. So I went there when I believe I was 9 years old. And that really wasn't much. I just went to visit family. Was very confused. I went alone. And definitely not my favorite
I
trip.
didn't know you
but
went alone.
I didn't know that either.
I went completely alone.
Oh
For
my
your
El
first
Salvador.
time,
That was
like,
the first time I met.
traveling?
Yeah, that was the first time I met my grandma.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
I took Converse, and then I couldn't wear them because El Salvador is not known to be a great country, or at least the time that I went, it was not a good country
like
at all.
safe.
Yeah, it
she means
wasn't
like
safe.
safety wise.
So,
yeah.
I went to El Salvador. Food was amazing. My family cooks amazing, but apart from that, I was basically just at my grandma's house. Nothing really crazy. But that's when I was 9, and then the first place that I really loved was Italy. That's where I went my second trip outside of the country. So been to Italy, and then after I went to Japan, and that's where I met Gina and Kelly.
The best things
but-
that ever happened to her.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Japan was just amazing, like a whole new world.
So when you travel with people, it's like it can like define your relationship. So you either come back like 10 times the friends you were before.
Yeah.
Or you can come back
Absolutely not talking
and
to
never
somebody.
talk to
Yeah.
somebody again. And I've been there. I've done that. But me and Gina were actually, like, we were friends. Like, we were really good friends. We had been good friends for a long time. But we had been, like, in, like, a bickering argument right before we went. Do you remember? We didn't talk for, like, a month and a half.
I just remember we weren't close.
We weren't, like,
but...
no. There was, like, it was an argument. Remember at my, the fight we were talking about when we went to Bubba Gumps in the city?
Yeah, apparently.
It was about, like, something with my birthday. I don't know. It was so, stupid high school shit. That seemed like the end of the world at the time. But we had been, like, or, like, in, like, a
We weren't close.
We weren't close anymore. And we went to Greece, and by the end of the first night, like...
Best friends.
It was...
Again.
And it's never left, right? And then we continued to travel together. Liz, I remember going on the trip with Liz. I had no idea who she was. No. I thought she was going to be... I'm not going to lie. You had a resting bitch face. I thought you were going to be a bitch. Like, I remember discussing this with you.
We didn't even talk to you, I think, for the first, like, half of the trip.
I'm, like, very antisocial at first.
We, like, went to Disney, like, the first day of the trip, and she, like... disappeared. Like, she didn't spend any time with the group. Like, we have like one picture together that whole trip.
We have, like,
the
no
whole
pictures.
Disney. Yeah, I mean, I don't really talk to people unless like you make the first move. Like, you have to come and say hi to me for me to feel like, okay,
now we're
talk
friends.
To this person,
no problem.
And then I also went to Japan with my brother because my brother had Land Grover as a teacher, so she obviously said that he could come. So it was like a trip. Like a brother and sister trip that we did together. And, it was mostly just me and my brother, like, close. For the first few days.
Yeah, she ended up hanging out with us, because of situations. But it was, it was interesting because we came back from the trip, and I don't even think, like, we knew that we traveled well together and that we got along. Yeah. But we didn't get, like, super close until post-Japan. Like, we were close in Japan. Like, there's photos of, like, me, you, us three, and Yari all together and stuff like that. But, like, we weren't, like, best friends until after we got back from the trip. And I genuinely don't know what happened when we got back from the trip that made us all so close. Like, we hung out a couple times, like, at the beach and here, but that was in the big group. Like, I don't know when the three of us started hanging out.
What it really was is just that we're just all cool and, like, just mellow.
Yeah. We're also,
honestly, I really think when we traveled to Japan, the whole group was, like, kind of cool with each other.
Oh, no. You know what got us close? The last day in Japan when we went to the bar. We dressed...
I loaned the whole trip. Bar. There was, like, must have been 6 girls. They all had a piece of my closet. Yeah. I was giving this person a dress, this person shoes, that had my pants. Everyone was wearing something. It was so funny. It was kind of
like, all right, so in Japan, the last few days were kind of, like, a little bit messy. Like, there were some people that we just weren't talking to anymore. We're going to get real. There was just a few people that we weren't talking to, or we were kind of, like...
Or people were mad at people for
it was just
stupid
drama.
Stuff. And it was so funny.
Us being girls, we were just like, fuck it, and party. So, we ended up... We basically started talking in regards to, like, what was going on, and then we were just like... fuck them.
But we were like, it was so weird. We were like, fuck everyone. Like, so I think we were all just kind of like, fuck the guys at that point.
We wanted to
go out. Good
it was like
girl bonding moment.
We went to a karaoke bar.
Yeah.
And we just had a blast. Like, that night was the best. I feel like it really just like got all of us together. Yeah. We have amazing like footage of that night too.
Yeah.
Footage that I don't want resurfaced, but we can resurface it if we have to.
Insert here.
Insert here.
I'm no beauty queen. I'm just beautiful green. You start everywhere to beautiful life. Who says you're not perfect? Who says you're not worth it? Who says you're the only one that's hurt? Beauty. Who says you're not pretty? Who says you're not beautiful? Who says? Who says you ain't?
There was one point because there was lights. People had remember the clown wigs on.
Yes.
Oh my god, this is a Japanese karaoke bar,
There
by
was
the way. Like,
so much going on that I didn't know what was going on, and then they were just singing in the back. I was like, "What's going on?"
but yeah, we're gonna have one of the next podcasts we're gonna have is gonna be a whole thing on our Japan trip, and we'll go
Yeah,
into
we'll
all
go
the
into
juice.
detail.
We'll talk about the good, the bad, and why it's really important to be pretty picky about who you're traveling with.
Yes.
I think that's the number one.
I mean, okay, so that was my first like. No, that's like my second real trip outside of the country, but that's a trip that I definitely learned, like, if you're gonna travel with someone, you need someone that's going to, like, work with you, because
It could really make or break the trip.
No,
the people you
absolutely.
go with.
and it can
because-
affect the way
yeah.
you see the place too.
Yeah, your whole experience could be affected by the people around you.
Like, you can go to Disney with somebody, like your family, your whole life, and then the first time you go with a friend, it's just such a different dynamic because you're so used to your family and traveling with your family. And this isn't just for Disney; this is for everything. But I'm just gonna say the first culture shock. Like, luckily, the first time I went to Disney with a friend was with Annalie, my friend Annalie. Shout out! I know you're watching this, but it was just a culture shock. Like, we did things differently, but she was luckily very go with the flow, which
Yeah.
I am not. I am in a lot of cases, but I am not like that in Disney. You know, we gotta
She has a very strict schedule.
make
Yeah.
the money worth it, and she was very good. But it can definitely be a little bit of a culture shock, like going somewhere with somebody that like doesn't know your travel routine. Like,
Yeah,
me and my sister butt heads all the time because she don't get up. She does not wake up when
Yeah.
we travel.
And
That's a
luckily, we're
problem.
all down to wake up 4 a.m.
Yeah.
If we
get
have
our
to.
asses up, we go take showers, put makeup on, and do
Yeah.
whatever we
We
have
might
to
not
do.
talk that loud. We
And
might.
Yeah, we might be
We
a little
might not
quiet.
talk.
We're very
Wake up.
mindful also, like, if I know Kelly wants to sleep in, I'll wake up early. Gina will wake up after me, and it's like, we work really well together,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's gonna be different. We have a lot of episodes planned, including like
Yeah.
who is the best person to travel with, like what character traits you need from them, like
Yeah.
our trip to Japan. We also just went on a trip to Guatemala, which is gonna be a lot of fun. I recently got into the Disney College program, as you can see.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I am actually gonna be in Disney for the next 5 months, living and working there. So they're definitely gonna visit me. We're gonna still be doing the podcast, obviously, but I'm just gonna be doing it from Orlando.
Yep.
And they're gonna come visit me, so we're definitely gonna have a lot of footage about
Yeah,
that.
there's
Yes.
festivals coming up.
And there's
EZU,
festivals,
EDC
yeah.
that we're going. Well, I'm going to EZU and EDC. Gina's gonna
Go to
most likely
EDC and
yeah.
Rolling Loud.
Yeah.
So we're also, if you guys want a festival like podcast,
There
we'll
will
do
be a
that.
festival and
Yeah.
just a concert podcast. I have so many people who like I loved in concert and like
oh my god, if you are a Bad Bunny fan, I'm going to the
Oh.
Bad Bunny concert.
period.
Thanks, babe. Anyways,
Shout out.
So, yeah, there's a lot.
We
to
have a
look
lot
forward to.
we have a lot
Yeah.
planned.
Yeah.
So
That's good too. We also have separate plans too. Like you
Yeah.
Yeah. My upcoming plans. I'm going to Florida in September. It was,
I'll be there though, so we'll probably see each other.
Yeah, well, we're definitely gonna see each other. So I'm going to go with my brother and my dad. It's gonna be like a little family trip. And yeah, if you guys are interested in that, like I could talk about that, and I could go over some things that you probably will have fun doing in Miami with like family.
In
and stuff
addition
like
to the
that.
normal club scene that you would find in Miami.
in Miami, which is a lot of.
I'm also gonna be living in Orlando, so like I'll be able to talk about like the bar scene in downtown Orlando, and like I'm gonna have a season pass to Universal, and I'm gonna go to the aquarium. Like there's so much stuff for me to talk about in terms of that too, because I'm living in a whole different place for five and a half. It's 5.5 months, and then Gina's probably going to Mexico next month.
Yes, I'm planning a trip with my boyfriend and his mom. So
So we have a lot of stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We also have a lot of past experiences. So why don't we go around and say everywhere we've been? You want to
Yeah.
start?
Yeah, sure. So after Greece, the next place I went to Romania for a month with my college. So I actually took a social psychology class here in New York, and then at the end of the semester, we went away for a month, which was a really crazy experience because I
Yeah.
stayed with a host family, and we just got like the real experience of the country. We didn't go to any tourist places really, like for one day maybe, but the whole month was just intense. We also went to Germany for a couple of days after that.
I'm so jealous.
I'm sorry. I didn't get the real Germany
I
experience.
know.
Though. I just went
I'll
to
get
Berlin.
there.
Yeah.
I am a huge. You'll find out. Obviously, you'll find out about all of our personalities. But I'm a huge history nerd. huge history nerd, and Germany, not only is it, you know, my grandparents are from there and stuff, but the World War II history, the bad of it, like I'm desperate.
No, I'm definitely down to go with you. Okay.
That's
And-
upcoming too.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the beer gardens, I got you. I know.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
And then the following year, so I waited a year until I traveled again. I don't know. I just got all travel crazy. I was all wanderlusty. I planned 3 trips that summer. I went
God, I forgot about those.
Yeah, so I went to France for a week. Then we went to Japan.
For like 10 days or more. It was long. It was almost 2 weeks, I think.
Japan was 9 days.
Yeah, it was like a week and a half. I
Plus
think.
the travel days, though.
Oh yeah.
Travel days, I think, added like 2 days. So, like
Like a
11
weekend,
days.
yeah.
I count the travel days because those just were.
They were miserable.
Okay.
And then the month after that, I went to Spain, which I fell in love with because fast forward another year, I went to Spain for a semester. So I stayed there for 3 months. Very blessed, even though it was in 2020. So I got sent home early because of COVID. It's okay.
The COVID.
COVID.
I'm over it. Not really.
I'm
I
so
still
glad
cry
that's
about
over.
it
Oh,
sometimes.
Baby. I just want to hug you.
Me and my roommates still call each other like crying.
Yeah.
But while I was in Spain, I was able to go to Morocco and to Portugal. And then we went to Guatemala recently. So that's my travel experience.
Wow. Okay. So I have went to more mainstream places. So I've been to like Aruba. I went to like Niagara Falls, Canada. I went to a bunch of places in the United States, obviously. I've been to England because my sister lives there, which we're going to plan a trip there really soon too. I've been to Paris. I've been to Greece, Italy, Guatemala, and Japan. I don't think I'm missing anything else. But I need to go more places. There's so many places on my list, so stay tuned for that as well.
Same. Okay, so my list compared to theirs is very short. I've been to El Salvador twice. I've been to Guatemala twice. Italy once, and Japan. That's pretty much
That's
it.
pretty good. I mean,
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of
pretty good,
people.
too.
You went to like really like not like people don't usually go to Japan. People don't usually go to Guatemala, and people don't go to El Salvador.
Yeah.
Salvador.
Yeah.
I can't
So,
say the word apparently.
I feel like, though, I just go on trips when they come to me.
Yeah, like I'm
'Cause
not
wherever
picky.
life takes us, we just go.
So here's
wherever life takes us.
a little example of how like passive we are and just like go with the flow. Like it was like April, like early April, not even mid-April.
yeah.
Liz texted me and Gina in our group chat
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, like
Like,
Guatemala for my birthday? ? And I was like, okay.
Sure.
And Gina was like, yeah. And we booked the plane tickets that night.
same,
Yeah.
Like,
same
same
night.
day. Like,
Liz was
within
like-
12 hours. Like, it was crazy.
We like FaceTimed and we're like,
Yeah.
okay.
the next
like,
day,
what do
we
you wanna do?
FaceTimed.
Yeah.
We picked everything we wanted to do, and we created an itinerary in literally 48 hours. It was crazy.
We booked tours. We literally routed our whole trip out, and we were just ready to go.
Yeah, it was great.
And it was very, it was a
Like-
cheap trip.
Was
Compared
cheap.
to other ones, it was cheap.
I think
The
that's
thing
why we
is-
were so ready to book it, though. You said, like,
Yeah.
oh, $300 tickets round trip, and we were just like, here's my credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also like, I don't know about you guys, but like I would have never like went out of my way to go to Guatemala. Like it would have never been somewhere that reached my top, 10,
Yeah.
10, 15, 20 places I wanted to go. So when the opportunity, same thing with Japan, when the opportunity was presented to me, I was like, fuck
it,
yeah, might as well. Like whatever. Like I have the opportunity. When am I going to have the opportunity to go to Guatemala again?
Right?
Exactly,
I'm definitely going to
so-
have to go back to Japan because I didn't get to both the Disney theme parks. We'll talk about that in the Japan trip. That's my biggest regret in life. But whatever. Yeah, so we're pretty like go with the flow. We'll book things instantly, like
Yeah.
easy.
We're not high maintenance type people either. We're very just, fuck it. If we have to sleep in a, well, let's not say like in a motel or something, because we wouldn't do that. But, what are you guys looking at?
Yeah, we slept in some places that were a little
Yeah.
bit sketchy, but we'll talk about that on the Guatemala
Yeah, I mean-
episode.
Yes, we should definitely do an episode on, like, hostels and
Yeah.
weird
Yeah,
places.
Guatemala
We can also
was
talk about-
very crazy.
It was great though.
Yeah.
One of the better trips I've ever
Our
been on.
Guatemala episode's gonna be
It's gonna be funny.
fire.
We have
Oh
so
my
many
gosh,
good,
I
funny
wish-
stories.
Yeah, I wish I had footage of that night.
Oh my
Guatemala.
god, we were all like crying. Like I was
Literally.
like,
We were all crying. Kelly went back.
okay.
Kelly
So
was not crying.
little quick story that we'll probably re-talk about on our Guatemala episode,
That was
but
crazy.
we were in not very nice area.
Okay, so I'm gonna go into detail in our Guatemala episode, but basically, my mom has a house in Guatemala. That's all I'm gonna say. But she has a house out there, and we went to it thinking that it was like ready, like like we were going to be able to stay there. So we get to the house, and it was definitely not what we expected. I mean, definitely not what we expected.
No.
So
We were all like, it's fine. Everything's fine. There was no like door on the toilet, but it's fine. We're good. It's flooded.
yeah, the bathroom didn't have a door, and then
As soon as we said it
as
was
soon
fine.
as we were like, you know what, it's just one night. Like tomorrow we'll be in Antigua. Like the lights went out.
like in the middle of us saying everything's
boom.
fine.
Yeah.
Lights went out like a fucking movie. It was like
It
a
was
scary
literally
like a
like
scary
a
movie.
scary
It was
movie.
crazy.
And then we're like, great, no charged phones. Our phones were almost dead.
Oh yeah.
We didn't even shower, and then since the heat runs on the electric, we couldn't shower with hot water. And then we thought the light would come back on eventually. It didn't come on until the next day after we left.
So that night, me and Gina are in one room, Liz and her brother in the other room, but me and Gina are in the room closest to the driveway, and Gina's sleeping against the wall, and I'm sleeping on the other side.
And just to like lay out the room, their room had a big window that looks out to the driveway.
And we were against that wall, so we were against the window.
Yeah.
Like the bed was like against the window.
Their bed was like right next to the window.
Do you
I
wanna-
could tell the story.
Yeah, take the
since-
story from
since
here, because
Kelly
I was
sleeping.
asleep for it.
So the power went out, I want to say around like 7, 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And we hung out for a little bit, with flashlights. But eventually we were like, we're bored. There's nothing really to do. Let's just go to sleep. So
And we
were
had been
asleep.
up that mad early that morning, too.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
tired anyway. So we went to bed at like 9 p.m. And we fell asleep pretty quickly. Like I was in a deep sleep. I think you were in a deep sleep.
I
at
had to
least.
be in a deep sleep for
She
what's
had to
coming.
be. And out of nowhere, I was just awoken by Kelly screaming her head off, like screaming and thrashing in the bed. I just felt her like hitting me. My arm was like on fire. It was so hot. I couldn't see. I wear contact lenses, so all I saw was blurry, flashing lights and an alarm screeching. I thought we were like under attack or like the house was on fire or something, which wouldn't even make sense because it was like a cement house.
And also, there was no electricity, so, like, what would have caught fire?
Yeah.
Something was because my arm was burning. So I quickly realized that outside the window, the car alarm had gone off. But Kelly was being abducted next to me, apparently.
I, like, didn't wake up. Like,
So-
I must have been in some sort of night terror, because I was just, like, go ahead.
Yeah, so I had to slap her awake pretty much, and I was like, Kelly, the car alarm's going off. And this bitch, she wakes up, she goes, oh, okay, and goes back to sleep.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm
gave
just
her a
sitting
hug.
there.
Wait, hold on. She was freaked out. I gave her a hug. I
I
said,
asked
are
you.
you okay?
I had to tap her while she was laying down. I was like, can I have a hug? Like, because I was so scared. Like, I was just like, did someone touch the car? I didn't know what
Yeah.
happened. We were, like, in an uncomfy situation anyway, so that just, like, intensified it. And yeah, Kelly slept soundly next to me while I stayed up all night long.
I'm a really
Staying
heavy
guard.
sleeper. Like, and I don't get freaked
Yeah.
out like that by that stuff. Like, I'm not a really cautious person, which is bad. I definitely should be when I'm traveling into foreign countries. I was a little nervous in Guatemala, but I was fine.
Yeah.
So I
Your
like.
subconscious was not fine.
No, you're right. I kind of remember like screaming and thrashing. Like, I kind of remember like right before Gina woke me up. Like, I think my body was like coming to terms with what was happening, but like mentally I just didn't wake up. Like, I was still asleep when this was
Yeah.
happening. So I woke up and the alarm was going off. And I didn't hear this. I think it would have been fine if I wasn't screaming the way I was.
Kelly was okay. So in because I was in another room.
Your perspective.
Yeah, from my perspective, all I hear is an alarm going off, and then I jumped out of my bed, and then the whole house is cement, so the floors are cement. I literally almost broke my ankle, like jumping out of the bed because I was like,
I'm so sorry.
what the
guys.
fuck is going on? Like, in my head, I was just like, I kind of know this is not a good town. And I was already kind of, like, sketchy. I kind of didn't want to stay there, but, like, my mom was like...
honestly, though, we didn't know that. She, like, really put on a brave face that night. Like, she was like, we were freaking out to each other, but we didn't want to say anything to Liz, because she seemed really,
we went into the house, we were like,
because I feel like if I would have been, like...
nice house.
Yeah, if I would have, like...
And her brother was like, Mom, where did you send me?
He was like, I'm gonna have a word with my mother.
Yeah, in my head I was just
shout
like...
out. Josh, you made the trip so much better, just putting that out there.
Joshua really, like, brought light to our fucking dark
He was
ass
our, like, personal
day.
comedian.
Yeah, and you meet Josh, maybe we'll bring him on one day, I don't know, maybe like it, but he's, like, the most, like, monotone person, but he's got the jokes.
He does.
Okay, keep going.
So, okay, basically I jumped out of bed, I, like, run out, and I'm like, what's going on? Oh, my mom's friend was staying with us. She's from Guatemala, so, yeah, she was with us, and I asked her, like, what's going on? Like, what happened? She literally said, like, because she stayed up all night, I'm guessing.
I mean, it was only midnight. Like, it wasn't like it was 3 a.m. Like, she wasn't up in the middle of the night.
It
like,
was,
it's
like,
normal for you to be
midnight.
awake at midnight.
So she was up, and she literally saw a cat jump from, like, the rooftop of our house onto the car that was in the driveway. So from the cat jumping on the car, it made the alarm go off, and I was fucking, like, I was having a heart attack completely.
To be fair, if
didn't know
you're
what was
hearing
going on.
screams from the next room
Yeah.
where
And
your
an
friends
alarm.
are staying and an
Yeah.
alarm's
And then-
going off, like, you're gonna freak out.
Yeah, and Guatemala is
I just
not
got, like, shivers
the
just
best.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. The thing is, they have so much trauma from that night, and I'm like,
I
a car alarm
definitely-
went off, like, I'm fine. Like,
I still,
Yeah.
like, have side effects from it.
oh no,
Oh my goodness.
it's definitely, but the thing is, I think you would have been fine. I just think my, like, whatever night terror that I don't remember,
Yeah.
whatever I was going through, like, I don't remember it, so it doesn't affect me, but
Yeah,
They're
no,
scarred.
I heard
If I-
screaming,
yeah.
so, like, the worst possible was in my head, like,
Sex trafficking.
what is
I thought we were being
happening?
trafficked.
yeah.
And especially, like, Kelly's skin tone, she has blonde hair, like, we were already concerned about that at the beginning of our trip. So, anyways, I get up, I go outside, my phone still had charge, so I used my flashlight, I literally walked around the whole, like, yard and looked under the
Yeah,
car
I didn't know
and
what you
everything.
were. This bitch went outside.
Like, if
when
there
the
was
alarm
a
went off.
burglar
outside.
and
I
there's
was
an
like,
alarm going, she, like,
hi.
thought somebody hiked. I didn't even think about it, and she was like, the next morning, she was like, I thought somebody, like, broke in,
I
like,
thought someone was trying to
Yeah.
get into the car to set the alarm off, so I literally stayed in bed and I just, like, was staring outside. I put my glasses on all night. Like,
Yeah.
literally all night long, I
So-
slept there with my glasses on.
sleeping soundly next to her.
I like ran out. The first thing I did was run out and see what was going on with the car. So I like looked under the car, I looked all around. There was nothing, like nothing was going on. And then I go into their room and I see Gina, and I literally like my heart broke seeing Gina, because I'm just like, Gina's gonna have
She was fucked up.
problems after
I'm not
this.
gonna lie. Gina was fucked up. I don't
Yeah.
even think I fully woke up. Like, I was like, you were like, the car alarm's going off. I was like, okay. All right, don't
I was
run
just,
over.
like,
And she was
sitting
like,
there.
Oh my god.
wake up. And I was like,
Yeah.
what? She was like, I need a hug. I was like, okay. I gave her a hug, and then I was like, are you okay? She was like, yeah, I'm okay. And then I turned over and went back to sleep, which is probably looking
Oh
back,
my
like, I should not have
God.
done that, but I was still, like, asleep. Like,
You were
Yeah.
such an asshole.
sorry.
And,
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's
I was
alright.
sleeping with my brother. We were sharing a bed, and he told me that when I woke up, I like told him like stay, like you stay. I don't know why.
Why?
As if
I
I'm
don't know.
gonna
As
Why?
if she's gonna have a better chance against
Yeah,
somebody
then-
that's trying to break in.
Exactly. I was like stay, and then like I jumped out of bed and like.
Apparently,
tried to
she
save
like
the day.
pushed him back down. Like, he sat up and she went, stay.
Like
Like, dead ass. Like,
Yeah.
she's got it. Like,
Aw.
she's the protector.
You're such a
or
mom.
something like that. I don't know. Joshua said something along the lines that I told him to like stay, like or like ignore it or something. I don't know. He said something like that, but I don't really remember. I just remember jumping out of bed, running out, and like seeing
Yeah.
what's going
Why
on.
would you run out? What are you gonna do?
I don't
Talk
know.
to the burglar.
But
Or
I'm
the
here
sex
today.
trafficker or
Yeah.
whatever's
Hi,
going on.
how are you?
So
We had also
Yeah, we're
gotten
okay.
there, like, it was dark. Like, it got dark relatively early there.
Yeah, I think everything was just off.
Yeah,
Like, we were just off.
I don't
The
even
vibe
remember.
just wasn't there in that town.
It was so shifty, and we were like
And
uncomfy.
we were like,
out of our
everyone was
comfort
watching us,
zone.
like, pull into this driveway. Like, do you remember
And,
that
like,
guy was
yeah.
watching us?
We looked like tourists.
And
Yeah.
that was like I think I've only had a couple of culture shock moments. I think that was one.
Oh, that was
culture shock
absolutely a
moment.
culture shock moment
Just seeing
for me.
like the house and stuff, because like I'm not used to like places like that, you
Yeah.
know, growing up where we did. So that
Yeah.
was on top of that.
Yeah, it was just like, and then, you know, you tell people you're going to Guatemala, and they tell you all these
They look
horrible
at you with,
stories,
five
like,
heads, yeah.
this is the #1 country for sex trafficking, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You're like, I have blonde hair and blue eyes, I go for a lot on the market. That's what literally everybody I told was telling me that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get sex trafficked. But I was
Yeah.
fine. It really wasn't that bad. The people in Guatemala were amazing. There was tourist police all over Antigua in particular.
Yeah, fun fact, Guatemala, I'm pretty sure they, like, have a whole tourist police, like, specifically.
They have a separate, like a separate department
yeah,
for tourists,
for
please.
tourists.
And
So-
everybody in Guatemala, they're trying to, like, really boost up
Well,
tourism,
tourism. So
brings a lot of
everyone
money.
is so helpful. Like, don't go here past this time. Don't do this. But you can go
In
here.
Guatemala, there's zones, so it's, like, zone whatever is not a good zone. It's, like, a red zone, or this zone is a green zone, so... Like, if you talk to, like, just anybody over there, because when
They're
I was talking
really
to the
helpful.
taxi guy,
Yeah.
he was like, oh, no, that's a red zone, like, you don't want to go there, or, yeah, like, this is a green zone, you want to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
he
think a
was-
really good travel tip is like talk to your taxi men. And,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all your taxi drivers, they have really good advice
Yeah.
for getting around the city.
Well, we've gone a lot into Guatemala, so maybe let's stop
Yeah,
there
we
and
need to
save
stop
it
there.
for that trip. But we do have a couple questions that we're just gonna finish out the podcast with. So favorite place you guys have ever been? Gina, you want to go first?
Yeah. So I think that Greece is definitely at the top of my list. It's just a magical place to be in. You know, it's like you're going into a whole new world, to be honest.
Keep
Kelly
going.
couldn't agree.
You keep going.
But I do have my favorite trip that I've ever been on. I know it's like a different question, sorry. But
okay.
Romania has a special place in my heart. I really traveled the whole countryside and the city too, but like it was just such a beautiful country. The people were amazing. I really got to know the culture very well, and that will always be my favorite month of my life, I think.
That's amazing. My favorite trip was to Greece. So I am a huge Greek mythology nerd. I grew up, you know, reading the Percy Jackson novels, and then I got into like real mythology, and like I'm a huge mythology person. Like ancient Greece and like I'm a history major. Ancient Greece and Rome is like my favorite time period to like learn about besides the United States. Actually, history, I love that. But so like going and seeing like all these myths and like the embodiment and like where these things were happening, seeing the Parthenon. Oh my god, but the city, and we went to a lot of things. We went to like Delphi, Athens, Kalambaka. Like we went to Olympia, we saw where like the first Olympics were. Like we went to some amazing places.
Yeah.
And but something about Athens, man, that place.
I could live in Athens.
I
literally could
there
live
is something so like fairy tale like you go and it's like you walk down like the cobblestone streets and like they're like oh god, you're eating like gelato on top of Mars Rock overlooking the city lights, and it's just there's nothing like Greece. Greece is really picture perfect to me. I'm desperate to go back to Athens. Like
We're gonna take Liz back.
we're gonna
to
take
Greece.
Liz because she hasn't been to Greece and she needs to because it's both of our like favorite places pretty
Yes.
much. Like we
Definitely,
adored it.
We're gonna
We're
plan
go back
the trip
and we want to
for
hit the
you.
we want to hit the islands this time.
Yeah, we haven't been to the
We
islands.
haven't been to the islands. I want to go to like last time was like with the schools. It was like very historical, but like I want to hit Santorini and like tan on
Yeah.
a
It's
boat.
very like
And
Instagram worthy.
we went during the winter too.
Oh yeah,
so,
we did. We went in
yeah.
February.
Oh, okay.
But okay, Liz, your turn.
My favorite place, which Kelly's not gonna agree with, but my favorite place is Italy.
It's not that I don't like. Well, we'll go into that. We'll talk about
Yeah.
Italy.
I absolutely loved Italy. I guess, I mean, that's the only country I've been to in Europe, so hopefully I have
Yes, we're
different
gonna take you.
experiences, better experiences. But Italy, I was out there for 3 weeks, and my cousin's cousin, on her mom's side of the family, they live out there, so I got to see, I got to do all the touristy things, and I also did get to stay at her family's house and see like a small town in Italy and really get to experience how they live, and got to be basically part of their community as well, because they took us in like as family.
Yeah.
And the whole community though,
That's
like,
also a very different experience than when I did, to be fair. But we'll go over the differences, and like, it's not that I don't like Italy. Like, I did like Italy. It's just, I think it's a bit, some places are a bit overrated. Cough, cough. Rome. Cough, cough. But,
Well, it's like the big cities that are romanticized. Like, people go to Paris having this,
like,
magical, romantic idea.
and
then, like, Paris is, like, dirty and, like, people, like, don't talk to you. Yeah.
But, like, Venice and Florence and Pompeii, oh my god. Okay, but different
We'll talk
episode.
about
We have,
that,
as you can see, we have a lot to say about the places we've been in, and we have strong opinions that sometimes contradict, or or we agree on Greece, stuff like that. So you're gonna get a lot of different opinions here, and we're definitely gonna bring on a lot of guests.
Definitely.
And,
I could probably get my cousin on.
And my sister lives in Manchester, England, which is like, if you don't know what Manchester is, it's like the next big city in England. So it's like if New York is London, then like Boston is Manchester. But it's beautiful, like definitely underrated. We'll talk about it. You should definitely go there. But she's a big advocate for Manchester travel, so we'll definitely bring her on to talk about that.
Yes.
All right, second question. What is a travel goal of yours? Gina, you could start again.
I have a really big travel goal, and it's to hit every single country of the world. Now, I know, it might be out of reach, but I'm gonna try.
It's the effort that matters.
I'm literally gonna try.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the effort.
It's been done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You could backpack for a while.
Yes.
I definitely want to do that. I just met
I
one
would
of my
like to do that too.
one of my
That'd be so
Disney
much
college
fun.
program roommates took a semester off and backpacked alone through Europe. Yeah, let that sink in.
That is crazy.
So I think that's why I'm saying you guys are gonna get along with them. But all right, I'm definitely gonna send this to them. So hi, if you guys are watching this.
One of my travel goals is to travel like the most exotic places in the world. Places like you don't really hear people go to, like Guatemala or I don't know, just crazy ass places.
I kind of want to Ecuador, literally on the equator.
Yeah.
Like I think it'd be dope to like
go to the Galapagos.
stand.
Yes.
Galapagos are in Ecuador.
Oh my god, I think it'd be. Oh god, I want to go to Galapagos. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I think it would be dope to like stand on the equator. Like I'm in the center of the world.
It's gonna be the hottest
But
place I've ever been.
I don't have to do anything. I just gotta stand there and then get back in the AC. You feel me? Like you dig.
No, Ecuador
But yeah,
seems really
I
cool
think I want to go to
travel
Ecuador. I think that's someplace I want to go.
I definitely want to go to places like you just don't hear people go to.
Like
and,
Uzbekistan.
My grandpa
Croatia,
traveled.
like,
Yeah,
like things that not the norm.
Cambodia.
I want to go to Australia really bad, which is a place that people travel to, but that's another story. My grandpa was a huge traveler. Like, he went literally everywhere, and his favorite place he ever went was doing a safari in Africa. He went back twice. And that's his favorite place ever, so that is absolutely on my list, because Grandpa, I miss you and I love you. But definitely on there. Definitely something that I have to do.
Yeah. How about yours?
Okay, so I just talked a lot about where I want to go, but my favorite travel goal is, mine's a little bit different than them. I do want to travel everywhere. I want to see the Great Wall. I want to swim in the Great Barrier Reef. Like, those are things that I want to do. But my number one travel goal is to get to every Disney property in the world. So if you guys don't know, I've already been to both the parks in California. I've obviously been to all four of the parks in Florida, plus I have to get to the water parks. I still am missing one of the water parks in Florida. I've been to both the parks in Paris. I've been to one of the two parks in Japan.
Right.
And then I have to go to both the parks in China. And then I have to go to the Hawaiian resort in obviously Hawaii. So stay tuned, because I'm definitely gonna get to all those.
Big travel plans.
Big travel
coming
plans, because China. I want to go to China really bad.
Well, we were talking about, if we go back to Japan,
Just making it a go to China.
do a
But
Japan-China trip.
The two trips the two parks in China are not like the parks in Florida or California. It's like there's one on mainland China, and then there's one not on mainland China. So we have to take a plane. So like there's one in Hong Kong, and then there's one in Shanghai.
And we need a visa.
And you need a visa and a separate phone card, I think. So it's a lot different. So it's a lot harder. But
we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it. I'm gonna get to them. It's gonna happen. But that's definitely my my travel goal.
Nice. I'm excited for you.
No.
And our third question is, what's the next place you want to go?
Well, if I can't go to China, the next place I want to go is Germany. I was talking about this before. I have family in Germany. My grandparents, my Grammy and my papa on my mom's side were both like went to Germany a lot as kids or were raised before they moved here in Germany, and that's a big place. And like I said before, I'm a history nerd, and I this sounds so weird, but I want to go to a Holocaust memorial.
Oh my gosh, me too.
I would too.
It's like one of the big things that I want to do. I also love beer. Love it.
Beer gardens.
So, a lot of beer over there.
Yeah.
But I just hear Germany is absolutely fucking beautiful. Fucking freaking. I forgot for a second that we were allowing us to be explicit, and I went to cut myself off. And my sister went, and my sister's been to a lot of places because she lives in England, so she literally goes all the time. Like, on a free weekend, she'll just be like, oh, I bought a trip to Portugal this weekend.
Damn, I was going to say, we should totally go to Germany for Oktoberfest.
I'm going to be in Disney.
Yes.
But next year, we should so do that.
Yes.
It would be expensive,
How
though.
about we, like, really save up next year and then just take a month off and then do a whole Europe trip?
I would.
Because remember, I literally have
Period.
an itinerary for that.
All right, so here's the thing, guys. We are constantly going to make up new trips that we want to go on because that's what we do when we hang out. So, like, if you hear us talking about a trip, like, stay tuned. It's going to happen. It just might not be the next trip we do, right?
We're just manifesting.
We're just manifesting a lot of
Yeah.
traveling. You know, we're young. I'm 20. We're 20. I'm 21. You're 22.
Yes, I'm 22.
You're old.
Oh
And
my god!
And Liz is 19. You're young.
You're the baby.
So, definitely, we have a lot of places that we've been. We're very blessed to have traveled as much as we did. But,
Yeah, definitely.
we have a lot more time and a lot more places to go. All right, your turn, Liz. Next place you want to go. Or, no, top place you want to go.
Top place I want to go right now, because it changes, like, every week, to be honest. But
Fact.
right now, the top place I want to go to is Bali. And oh my gosh, there's just something so like different about Bali. Like, first of all, it's very cheap to go to, food wise, stay wise. It's a very like affordable trip, and I don't know, it just really catches my eye.
I think
like
it's
that.
a really
Yeah.
cool location. I know that a lot of foreigners actually live in Bali and like work online, which I think is really cool.
I've seen some like influencers, they buy property over there, build their own house, and it's like so affordable. So I don't know, Bali seems like the way to go.
That sounds cool. I'll go to Bali. I'll go anywhere, though.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. I think my top place, I mean, it changes all the time because like I fall in love with everything I see.
Yeah.
But honestly, I've been wanting to go to Egypt since I was
Oh my God, so
8 years
bad.
old.
I want to go to. I want to see the. I remember watching Scooby Doo, and they went to freaking Egypt for one of the things, and
Yeah.
ever since then, I need to
Obsessed.
go to Egypt.
Yeah,
I need to.
but I've always been obsessed with the culture, the history. I even took Arabic in college because I just wanted to go.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I was really good, by the way. Shout out to my professor. He
Gina's
was
very
amazing.
good at foreign languages, like very, very good at foreign languages.
Yeah.
She knows like them all. No, she doesn't. But she knows a lot.
I always try to study some of the language before I go places. Obviously, I'm not fluent, but I like to just have basic phrases and everything, and it usually sticks, to be honest. But yeah, Egypt is definitely top of my list.
That's crazy.
That's
That's a great one. Yeah, I want to go to Egypt.
Yeah.
I think that should be one of the next places we go to.
I would die.
Yeah,
I would literally die. Can you
am-
imagine us on like camels
No! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, we have to go to Egypt. Okay.
in the desert?
Yeah. So you have anything else to say before we finish up here,
No, that's pretty much it.
Gina?
That's pretty much it for our first introductory podcast.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hopefully you guys got to meet us and got to see our different personalities. And yeah, just what we're really about and all of that.
Kind of where we're taking this podcast. You know, through the next couple podcasts, we're gonna go more in detail of like, if we could do our Japan, we're gonna go through like our itinerary, talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, what we would exchange it with, cough, cough, Tokyo, Disney, cough, cough.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. But we're definitely going to have a lot of fun with this, and I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Too. And
really
thank you for
excited.
listening. I mean, it's pretty long.
Yeah,
Yes,
we hope
you
whatever
guys are
you're
the
doing,
real ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing it safe and you're happy, and this helps you through it or whatever. So you can find us on all major listening platforms, and follow us on Instagram at Whereverlifetakesus with an underscore at the end.
Oh, and
So-
just we try to record this on video, so if we don't upload anything, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, my phone
But-
died. I'm so sorry, guys.
But
I'm really.
hopefully
we're
next
gonna
podcast
YouTube,
we'll figure it
yeah,
out.
and you know what, we can, yeah, we'll make a, we're gonna have a YouTube channel. You guys are gonna be able to watch us on YouTube. We'll probably upload what we have already, and then going forward, we'll put the whole podcast on it.
Like a trailer, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
Ideas are being made while we're filming the podcast still. But shout out to Sunshine Martin. Okay. She did our cover art, so we'll add
Yeah.
her in the description. And she's my best friend, and she's absolutely fucking dope.
We love you.
Amazing
And
artist.
amazing
even more
artist.
amazing person.
Yeah, yeah. Literally goes by her name, a ray of fucking sunshine.
Sunshine.
Yeah, we love you guys.
We love
Thank you
you.
so much for being here with us and supporting us.
Yeah, we'll see you next episode.
Thank you from Wherever Life
Life
Takes
Takes
Us.
Us.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye.